Hey guys, I hope you guys are all well, all okay, enjoying your day. Today I'm bringing you the full moon in Aquarius, which is 19 degrees. So all the fixed signs, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, and Scorpio, you're going to feel this the most. And 11th or 12th, wherever you are in the world. And this full moon is going to be it can actually feel quite good for some, quite chaotic for others, or a mixture of everything else, because we have planets talking. Because remember, the planets, they talk or they clash. What's involved here is the nodes, which is Taurus and Scorpio. And we also have the Saturn, which is stern, my serious Saturn planet, which is giving it that stern energy. It conjuncts this full moon. And we also have, again, we have Uranus, and also it's also activating in a way the Saturn-Uranus conjunction, which happened last year. So we can actually feel some of the energies from last year actually manifesting now. Full moons are about releasing. And during this time, when we are releasing any energy, it can feel very easy for some, or quite hard for others. Because we have like a fixed grand cross, as we say, the energy is not going to be very easy for a lot of us. Because we have when Uranus is involved, it's going to be bringing lots of shocking starts, beginnings and endings. And we got the destiny of the nodes, which is happening, which is where we are going, but also what we need to release. And with the nodes, it's not to say we need to get rid of it. It's just that it's no longer serving us, but we're going to keep some. And also with the Saturn, which is involved, is going to be, in a way, bringing calm, but it's still going to be making us stick to sort of like what we know, but also, yes, sort of sticking to what we know, but also making us see that there's certain responsibilities that we need, but also things that we actually don't really need. And it's not going to be easy, because remember, this is fixed energy. So there's also a feeling of digging one's heels into what is staying and what is going, even like on a global scale as well. There can be some drama, there can be some arguments, there can also be a hell of a lot of change that is needed on a global scale. And I'm also seeing with this full moon in Aquarius, because Saturn's involved, I'm also seeing that this is the last time that Saturn's going to be in Aquarius with this full moon in Aquarius. And the next time we're going to see it is going to be in 30 years time. So full moons are about ending. So I am feeling it's like sort of like make this last, make this work. This is like the last time for you to be doing this. So make it, make things happen. There are going to be changes that a lot of us will be seeing with this full moon. And it does feel very powerful in a way, very potent. A lot of the energy, it can actually also feel like nothing's changing or happening, but then something can change. And we're going to also see, actually, this is what was needed. And it can also be through gritted teeth, because we're dealing with stubborn energy here. But of course, if we use this energy well, we can make, it's not even like life better for us. We can just make life a little bit less stressful, because a lot of us can feel quite stressful under this full moon. And it's not going to be easy for any like type of physical changes that's going to be needed here. when it comes to the tarot card, the 19 is the Sun card, and also in the 11th or 12th, but obviously like the 11th, it depends on where you are, but the 11 in the tarot is the Justice card. And when you put these two cards together, it's showing that we're going to be, you know, there's a sense of finding balance and finding ways of working together instead of having drama, stress and strife. You know, this card, especially the Justice card, is saying, you know, there must be a way that we can, you know, more or less work this out. But remember, Libra, this is a Libra card. Remember, Libra and Leo card. Libra is a sign that is a fist in a velvet glove. And this card is very much a karmatic card. So there can be some karmatic events that happen during this full moon in Aquarius. And, you know, we have to be also bear in mind that Saturn is a karmatic planet. So if, you know, it's just, you know, it's just like a case of if we're trying our best or hardest to, you know, balance things out, or, you know, making, because remember, Aquarius is about brotherhood and womanhood, should we say, you know, community. So if we're trying our best to base our lives on things being of brotherhood or womanhood and coming together as a world or as a people, then, you know, things can eventually start planning out well. But we have to get that rough with the smooth, and things will be unbalanced, unfortunately, during this time, especially with Uranus being in Taurus, with that, you know, the square to Saturn. So this is showing that there's going to be a big push and a big try of making things as peaceful and calm. But, you know, there's lots of things that need to be worked out as well. And then communication is definitely key. And with the Sun card, the Sun card is such a beautiful card to have. It's such a beautiful omen to see. We can definitely go, we can definitely be extremely positive during this new moon. This can give a lot of creativity for some, a lot of vitality, a lot of energy. But then we can also go too hard, too fast. This card, even though it's such a beautiful card, underneath it all, there is also a level of, you know, doing things my way and not going back to sort of like the drawing board of how things can be, not doing things for the self, but doing things together. And when you combine these two cards together, it is showing towards the end, not necessarily things will be great, but there's a glimmer of hope, you know, and that's all we need. That's what Aquarius is all about: hope and coming together, making the world like a better place. There's also obviously like a shadow side to Aquarius, as we all know, that, you know, when we're communicating, it has to be like my way or the highway. If you don't have my same beliefs, because a lot of these themes can come up about belief systems, about communities and groups. Some of you may even feel that, you know what, there's some things that's happening here with people that I'm around, communities that I'm associating with, organizations, even like relationships. It's no longer serving me because I feel that I have to agree with everything you're saying, and that's just not really the case. But obviously more about that when Pluto goes into Aquarius, guys, because we're going to be seeing a lot of this energy playing out, but obviously it's going to be built up to be brought down. So yeah, quite a mixed bag with this Aquarius full moon. I will be talking about the signs. Again, I've pulled out some moon cards for this sign. I was going to pull out moon cards, but I've actually pulled out numerology cards because it's more of a destiny. It's more karmatic destiny for all the signs. So that's like my 2 cents worth on this full moon, and let's get to the signs. So let's start off with Aquarius, because you're the star of the show. Also Saturn's in your sign. There's going to be a lot of realization for a lot of you Aquarians, because this is also in your first house. A lot of a huge realization of where your life is going, what you need and what you don't need. This could also filter into your home, your career, your physical appearance, and also, you know, your relationships as well. There's going to be a huge change that's going to be happening. And again, it does feel a case of like last chance Harvey, because, you know, Saturn's entering out of your sign, and it is, yeah, I feel a lot of you guys are going to be, again, there's going to be a lot of digging of the heels, but change will come. I also feel a lot of like conversations with your friends or even like family members could be happening here. Some of the changes that will come, Aquarius, it can actually feel like a bit of a thunderbolt lightning to a lot of you, because you're ruled by Uranus. And this is going to be a start of the beginning for you. Even if some of you may not feel like it is. Things may feel very sweet, but there's some changes that are going to be coming. And, you know, a lot of it is long overdue. So the card you have is Love card, number 6, Love card. So some of you can actually fall in love during this time. Some of you could actually really fall in love. It could be a project, a partner, a new partner, your partner, a job. Fall in love with yourself, because you're actually peeling layers now, Aquarius, during this full moon. And the next time you have a full moon in your sign, Saturn's going to be in Pisces. So if there's any like niggling behavior coming across, then I feel you might even fall in love with it. If you're not happy with yourself, happy with anything, but you know that deep down some of it is working, you might actually start to fall in love with it. I do feel this is definitely falling in love with yourself, the self, not being too hard on yourself. You know, and after once that happens, Aquarius, things just start to fall into place. But again, there are going to be a lot of climaxes, should I say, happening during this full moon. So that's for you, Aquarius. Pisces, this is in the house of, you know, it's actually your house, which is happening during this full moon in Aquarius. And you are, you know, a lot of you may have found it very easy doing that whole shadow work of releasing and letting go, being charitable, creative, doing some work behind the scenes, or even doing something to do with like your mental health, healing yourself as well, healing the body, coming into yourself a bit more, even though things are hidden. There could have been some darkness as well. But, you know, I feel that the mental is going to be playing really hard on you during this full moon. And it's going to be a case of the mental with the spiritual. I feel you're going to be aligning this a lot more, especially with like the nodes being in your 3rd and 9th house. A lot of learning a lot of you are going to be doing during this full moon, or relearning. So a lot of you are going to be, if you haven't been on the grind of spiritually cleansing and healing yourself, I feel a lot of you are going to be doing a lot of that more, because when Saturn enters your sign, that's when all what you've learned from behind the scenes is going to be put out there. And there's no time like the present to start it. You got leadership card. So take the lead, Pisces. If you haven't done anything for the past 2 years, this is now the time to take the lead. Taurus being in your 9th and Scorpio being in your, Taurus being your 3rd, Scorpio being in your 9th, is giving you that steadiness that a lot of you need. You know, you could have veered a lot, but now it's like, okay, I'm going to actually just do it. I'm going to actually be creative, actually write, but also work with your energy, trying to push yourself too much, because you guys may not be feeling as motivated, or you might feel a little bit more tired. But still, leadership card is like taking that lead, really daring yourself to go there, daring yourself to meditate, daring yourself to cleanse your mind, cleanse your body and soul, read that book, learn that new language. And, you know, you're going to be learning a hell of a lot more. And some of this can really be emotional, Pisces. But as long as you're taking the lead, that's the first step. Aries, this is in your friendship zone and your goals, groups and organizations. And things that come up during this full moon is to do with like your money situation, you know, your joint finances, especially when it comes between you and, you know, when it comes to like money and friends, there could be a lot of airing out grievances, you know, or final grievances. Some of you may decide that you no longer want to invest in something because it might be taking too much of your time. You may not want, you may feel that you can't really, this thing that you've always wanted to do, like create or even start, but there's this niggling energy of, I've got to, you know, definitely tend to my responsibilities. During Saturn being in your sign, some of you may have felt quite lonely because Saturn being in your 11th is a great placement, but it's not an easy placement for a lot of people. So, you know, your friendships might be dissolving, but you could actually be meeting new friends, but making sure that money and friendships don't really mix. If it's going to be you investing in anything, it's going to have to be like on a business level more than, and also for brotherhood, not just going to be benefiting you, but benefiting others. And I feel a lot of you are going to be seeing that as well. Mindful of any clashes that could come up now. If there's any things that you've not paid, or people paying back to you, I feel a lot of you are going to be really seeing during this full moon that a lot of the times money and friends don't work, especially if people or even yourself or even you owe money as well. So the card you got is manifestation card. So a lot of you are going to be, this card is actually a lovely card for you. It's about wishing on a star, wishing things, it could be wishing things to be better, wishing on new friendships, goals, groups. Some of you could be wishing to be joining like an organization that's to do with humanitarianism work. Definitely a great time for you to be doing something outside your box. Not hard for a lot of you Aries, but also aligning yourself with people. So this card is showing that it's great to be writing down any, or even manifesting something brand new and releasing things that you no longer need. Taurus, this is in your home of status. You know, a lot of you Tauruses, you know, you're going to be feeling this. A lot of you Tauruses, especially late degrees Taurus, a lot of you Tauruses have been on that. You know, Saturn being in your 10th house is not been easy for a lot of Tauruses, but I think the nodes are really helping you. You're releasing, you're bringing in something brand new for yourself. You're also releasing old things, structures to do with like relationships as well. Still, I feel that you guys with this full moon, you know, there's gonna be a lot of work that you guys have to do, with a lot of responsibilities, especially to do with like your family, your home, yourself as well. A lot of you are changing now, Tauruses, even though some of you may not want to admit it. A lot of changes are happening. The nodes of destiny are helping with that. There are changes happening physically, your relationships. There are also opportunities coming as well, even though you find you have to work so hard to, you know, either get that money or making that position. A lot of you are going to be, I feel a lot of you are going to be dissolving a lot of things. Some of you guys may be seeing that there's things that you don't need, like strong material things. Okay, Uranus being in your sign is changing you, Taurus, is actually making things filter out. And the more you hold on, the less you're going to have. Uranus being in your sign is also showing that you're going to have to live off less, not to be poor, but there's going to be less you're going to be having because you just no longer need it. And some of you just need to see that. So with this full moon, which is activating it, a lot of you will actually see there's you know, there might be a loss of a job, or it might be a loss of, like there's certain things that you've planned and it might be lost. It could be an income, but also Taurus, some of you may decide that you want change, and change actually happens now. The card you got is synchronicity, which means signs. You're going to be seeing lots of signs that come up now. It could be like a feather on the floor, like when you're going to work, or you could be hearing the same conversations, or it could be definitely like a deja vu moment. When it says a change of job, Tauruses, I feel a lot of you may just leave, or you may decide that actually I don't want that promotion anymore because I see where my destiny is. You know, some of you may decide that you, instead of working for yourself, you want to work in a partnership. But in order for it to work, you have to sort of like dissolve certain tensions that happen. You know, but especially with the Saturn square Uranus, there's lots of changes within you physically. So a lot of you may be a bit more mouthy now, you know, or you may be thinking about being mouthy. Next, you know, you're very mouthy. A lot of you are going to be that boss, maybe for the next 20 years. So the synchronicity also is saying look out for opportunities that come, because some of these opportunities can come or they could go. It really does depend. But there's lots of things that are going to be coming up now, Taurus. So you just really have to see it. But changes are coming for you as well. Gemini, this is in your house of higher learning, everything higher, you know, traveling long distance. You are a lot of you Geminis, I mean, if some of you may be graduating now from like a course, or even like if you decide to be a teacher or mentor, some of you may decide you want to live somewhere else or even travel. There could be a lot of packing up and going now. And, you know, I feel that there could be a lot of daydreaming going on with a lot of you, Sagittarius. A lot of daydreaming going on. Again, a lot of releasing. This is a time to really take care of yourself. Take care of like your mental, physical and emotional health. Because you may be doing too much at one time. And you may not be doing anything in the end. So really listen to your body, listen to your mind. I know you guys may be very busy, but something's going to be ending in terms of like something higher in order for something new to begin. But listening to like your intuition, which is funny because the card you got is actually intuition. Listening to your intuition is going to be highly recommended. It's going to be guiding you very well during this time. With the Saturn in your 9th square to Uranus in your 12th, this can show a bit of volatility within your learning, but also within you being still. Some of you may want to take on everything, but there's some things that you don't actually need. But I feel some of you may be, I just want to see, just to see. I think you'll find out this time that, okay, you know, I need to sort of like be on my own in order to navigate what's next. Navigate what, you know, I'm thinking of something brand new for myself, but actually I just need to sort of like, you know, I'm a sign that goes with the flow. I'm going to go with the flow with this. So there's going to be lots of changes happening. Again, lots of changes, but also, again, lots of endings that come. Some of it may be very shocking, you know, and your intuition is going to be very high on this point. But some of you may want to ignore it, but really listen to it because it's going to be screaming at you this time. Cancer. So this is in a house that is very emotional, very dark, very deep, but also very cleansing, very about transformation. You know, what's actually supporting you is with the node. Even though it's a square to the node, it's actually going to be helping you because, you know, you lot have been doing that sort of like transformative work from 2020. And it's not been easy for a lot of you Cancers. Some of you may have felt quite down or a bit depressed, felt a bit stuck. You may have had a lot of, you know, responsibilities in terms of like your finances, joint finances, debts, loans. I feel a lot of you are going to be paying that off now. If you're not thought about this is the time to be paying it off, or some of you may decide I'm going to pay it off now. But still, it's going to be an emotional time. This is the last time Saturn's going to be in your sign. Obviously, when Pluto goes into Aquarius, it's going to go in your 8th house again. You know, so you might have to relive these things, but also it's going to be a deep transformative time. So, yeah, so for you Cancers, I feel that if you haven't really enjoyed this time in your 8th, you're going to start enjoying it next year when Saturn goes into your 9th. And also Cancers, you know, the card you have for this is adventure. So you're going to be, this is a time of adventure, even though it sounds really strange. The card of adventure is showing you whatever's going to be happening is going to be more of an adventure for you. The nodes are going to be supporting you again in your 11th and 5th houses. So, yeah, you could actually, if some of you are single, you can actually meet someone who can actually bring you an adventure. Or, you know, I feel that some of you may be easing out of certain groups, certain organizations now. Easing out of this. Because again, that word no longer serving is happening. But also, there's some of you actually want a bit of fun now. You know, still you have to tend to your responsibilities of things that need to be paid off. But, you know, I feel that once these things are sorted out or cleansed, you're going to be having a bit of more of an adventure now. I feel that things are going to be a lot more lighter for a lot of you Cancers. And, you know, again, you still may have to there's going to be some niggles along the way. There may be some emotional stuff that comes up from the past. But in the end, things will start to pan out the way that it should. So you've got an adventure coming. Leo, you're going to be feeling this big time, you know, because it's in your house of relationships. Open enemies, like contracts as well. So there's going to be these changes that are happening. Again, you're not going to see Saturn in your 7th for a very long time. So it's about making this work. If there's any niggles that's happening in your relationship, I feel that you guys want to be ironing this out now. The card you have is actually rebirth. So there's going to be like an enlightening of a rebirth that's coming up. But this also could be very shocking as well, because your goals, your status, your in terms of like when it comes to your goals, your status, your job, and also your relationships, there could be a clash of this. Your partner may want to see more of you, but you're very focused on your work. So again, the 7th house is about balance. Going with the Justice card, which is ruled by Libra, which is ruled by this house, is about balance. I feel some of you may be struggling to get that balance. Time, a lot of you Leos are going to be very ambitious as well. Again, try not to take on too much, because, you know, if opportunities do knock, they may not be all the opportunities that you need. It might be a case of like great excitement. Relationships are highlighting now. So some of you may be doing things on a whim. Some of you may be just deciding to throw in the towel because your partner's not aligning with what your relationships are about. And after you find out in the end it was a mistake. Or some of you may decide you want to spend more time with your partner and forget about the job. It's all about balance, because you don't want to feel in years to come really upset with yourself that you put all into a relationship and never had something for yourself. You know, so, you know, you guys are definitely could be finding yourself quite frustrated, because there's, you know, your wants and your family's wants, and especially the nodes being in your 10th and 4th houses as well. You know, your wants, your family's wants, your partner's wants as well. You may be feeling like you're pulled in different directions. But the rebirth card is saying that there's going to be a brand new beginning, and probably a brand new, a rebirth, basically. Something fresh is coming. Again, you guys will have to feel the craziness and the drama before the rebirth does begin. And it's a 16 card, and the 16 in tarot is the Tower card. So again, things can come crashing down in order for something to be rebuilt, Leo. So, you know, fear not, all will be well. But again, like all the fixed signs, you guys are going to be feeling this. Virgo, this is, like Pisces, this is in your house. This is in your house of responsibility, health, wellness, in a way, duty, you know, your work life as well. Again, I feel all the earth signs and water signs to a point are going to be really benefiting from this. But still, with with Saturn being in your 6th house, there may have, you can find now that. Hello Libra, how are you? How's Saturn been in your sign so far? Saturn's been in your sign for your 5th house for a while now, and this full moon in Aquarius is going to be wrapping up a lot of things to do with creativity, your children if you have any, children in general, even you, because the 5th house, it is about being like sort of like a teenager, your fitness as well, and also, you know, just general fun. This is going to be the last time Saturn's going to be in your fifth for the next, until the next 30 years. But still, you've got Pluto going in there still, you know, so there's going to be a big change. But with this full moon, and you've got the nodes in your money sector as well, this is going to be showing a lot of you where, of course, where your spending habits are, but what is owed to you as well. Again, some of you may feel a bit of a restriction happening because, you know, summer holidays, especially if you guys got kids, they may want to go out, go here, there, and everywhere. You may think that you're going to be very strict, but then you end up spending more than you should. There could be bills that come up for you to be paying. So this full moon is going to be showing you that being more responsible when it comes to money. If you're one of those Libras that are very generous, because I know a lot of Librans that are very generous, you could be finding yourself, you know, just meeting yourself like more or less halfway, but also meeting your responsibilities in paying off debts and loans. The debts and loans could actually come to you as well, i.e. as in you could get like money coming from the government, or you know, even like a tax rebate, which can actually help with any type of, you know, fund that you want to have, even if it's concerned with anything that you want to do creative. I feel creativity may play a huge part during this time as well for some of you Librans too. So the card that you have is music. Wow. So a lot of you could be, again, music is to do with having fun, listening to music. A lot of you could be finding yourself being really inspired during this full moon if you listen to music. If you feel that you feel quite bogged down, if you don't feel creatively inspired, music can really help you. Even dancing with your kids, or, you know, just popping into like the music shop. Again, like I said, I feel creativity is going to play a huge part in this. And if you are working out as well, listening to like music, especially from like back in the day, will really help you. It will actually get you excited. Okay, so yes, some of you may be bogged down, but still you can still have fun. Scorpio, 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 how are you doing? So this is in your house of home sector, you know, roots, the past. Very much an emotional house. It's actually a Cancer house. We have the nodes as well that is playing really deep during this time. You're going to be feeling this because you're fixed. You're within that fixed family. So during this full moon in your home sector, you could be seeing, I feel some of you actually may be hearing like some secrets that come out to do with like your family, your parents. Something to do with your past as well. But also you guys could be really making that effort, or really wanting to settle roots. It could be a move that happens. And with the nodes of destiny playing in this full moon, you know, I feel that some of you may actually see where, you know, you should be, where you should live. If you have a family, there could be a huge like change that happens as well. And with Saturn being here as well, which has been in your sign for a while, in your fourth house for a while, this can make a lot of you get more serious. So if you want to commit, this is the time of like even like having a family, or if you have a family, you know, this is about your roots, your root sector. And also there definitely could be like a change within your relationship as well. It could go either way. Remember, Uranus being in your seventh house as well. This is going to be changing things within your relationships. This is going to be changing things within your whole dynamics of your home. So if there's like any drama that's happening, I feel some of you could actually be really sorting it out, and, you know, wanting things to be a bit more at peace now. With Uranus being in your seventh, Scorpio, you know, you are, you know, some of you, if you feel like you're quite clingy, you may find yourself a little bit more relaxed now, you know, especially if you're living somewhere, because remember, where you live is very instrumental to how you feel. So you know, if your home life is settled, I feel that some of you will definitely feel a little bit more settled. Not to say won't be any drama, because drama is definitely involved in this full moon. But I feel that you guys maybe, it's more of a case of, if something's worth fighting for, you're going to be in it for the long haul. And the card you got is moderation. Now, the moderation card is, you know, more or less taking your time, not rushing. It could be a huge urgency during this full moon to like rush to move. You know, full moons are about releasing. So you're going to be releasing any past negative thoughts to do with like your home, anything to do with your parents, anything to, especially your mum, but also anything to do with any, you know, stuck energy within your relationships as well. I feel some of you may be starting to meditate more as well, making your home more serene, more peaceful. Your relationships hopefully going that way as well. Even when it comes to your family, your children, things can be feeling very up and down during this full moon. So even doing things like meditation will really help. Going for like long walks as well. You may feel bogged down with certain duties. So, you know, try not to do everything at once. Really try and moderate. There could be some anxiety and some tension during this full moon. Take your time, because things will pan out the way that it should. Try to control everything. You know, telling a Scorpio that is not easy, but trying to control everything is not going to be easy during this time. So moderation is, you know, doing things at a pace that can really help you and your family. Sagittarius, this is in your 3rd house, okay? And you got Saturn there, and you got the nodes in your 6th and your 12th house. So I don't feel that a lot of you Sagittarians will find this quite hard, because, you know, you and Aquarius get on very well, but still, you know, there is tension here. You know, you got, you know, with Uranus and the nodes being in your 6th house, this can cause a bit of craziness when it comes to like your routines. It can upset your routines in some shape or form. You may feel that you are saying things off the cuff, which is not unusual for Sagittarius. You know, how you communicate, it might be very, you know, it's about sort of being mindful of what you're saying, because it can sort of cause drama and argument. But also I feel that it's more to do with like this high tension of like not necessarily anxiety, but wanting to get things done very quickly. This is also to do with your siblings as well, where you're living. So there could be a move that happens, and you guys are all about movement anyway. So there could be a move that happens. Some of you may want like a change of scenery. You could be moving closer to deciding to, you know, up stakes and move closer to like your siblings, or just move to like a different neighborhood as well. But this is also asking you to be a bit more, not reckless, because you could do things just like that, you know. So just be mindful of being reckless. If there's any like work that needs to be done, of course, Sagittarius, you know what you have to do. If you have like paperwork as well, also take care of like your health, because Uranus being in your health sector as well is showing you there could be things that come up that for you to really look at, almost like a sort of like, you might have like a bit of like x-ray vision, like, you know, you are like doing a lot of work and you find that your back's hurting or your shoulders hurting, so that's for you to look at. I feel that working out will really help you, but you might be doing it a different way. Watching what you're eating as well. Maybe not doing something the norm, maybe doing something very different, but also structuring yourself, looking after the mental health, looking after, you know, how you're communicating as well. If things just get a bit too much, really great to be writing. And speaking of that, you have creativity card. Yeah, creativity card. So being creative, writing is being creative. So this is great to be writing down your thoughts. You know, some of you may be changing a job. So, you know, doing something a bit more creative. Some of you may also want a bit of a downtime, or maybe find it hard to have a bit of a downtime during this full moon. So find that time to have that downtime, especially if it's like disrupting your routines in general in some shape or form. But yeah, creativity will really help ease the pressure and any tenseness that comes up. And yeah, but I feel that this full moon is going to be pretty good for a lot of you Sagittarians anyway. It's very busy, you know, so a lot of you will definitely be needing some downtime. Last but not least, you have Capricorn. And this full moon is in your second house. You got Saturn there, which you are actually ruled by, okay? You got the nodes, which is helping. The square to the nodes in your 5th and 11th house, I feel definitely will be helping you. You may not feel this too tough, Sagittarius. I think all the earth signs, even though, especially except for Taurus, even though the squares to the nodes could be, it's quite harsh, it actually could be helping you, definitely. So for you, Capricorns, this is about your money, your self-worth. So you guys could be really like paying off any debts or loans, but also spending money on things that are to do for the long term, more or less than paying off anything. But money could actually come to a lot of you, but also some of you could be investing or deciding to invest, like bite the bullet and just like go to invest in something, or even more or less invest in yourself. Could be a change of a bank, but also this is, when it comes to self-worth, it's about what makes you happy. This is the second house is also to do what you're eating as well. So you may be changing what you're eating a bit more, I don't know, healthier or different. With the nodes in your and Uranus still in your 5th house, this is looking at what, you know, what you're spending money on in terms of how you're having fun, Capricorns. Some of you may not be wanting to have fun. You may be taking this thing a bit more serious. So I feel that some of you may just like sort of like relax more, or try to relax more. And, you know, full moons are about releasing. So you can just relax and release and, okay, I'm going to pay for this because it's going to be benefiting. Remember, this is for your long-term Capricorns. And, you know, this could be within a group, or it could be with to do with your children if you have any, or this could be to do with having fun. This could be to do with you investing in fitness. The 5th house is also like speculative, what you're gambling as well. So some of you could be doing that, you know, but it could be in a group. But you guys may be still a bit not really sure. So if you're one of those Capricorns that are very generous, be mindful that you don't overspend. But if you're one of those Capricorns that are not, you might just like left that leash off a bit. And you got happy ending card. So this full moon is bringing you a happy ending. It's really great if a lot of you Capricorns really get in touch with like that inner child, that inner funness that you guys think that you don't have. The happy ending could also be you dating. You know, you could be dating. Some of you could be paying on a special date to someone that you really wanted to see or go out with, and you can just decide you want to go to that nice restaurant. There's more of an investment than anything for you, but also ultimately investing in something very creative, investing in a group or organization. And yes, there could be some sudden shocks that come. You might find out about someone, might think, oh my God, I didn't know this person was about that. I spent all this money on that person and look what's happened. You know, you could have a bit of a shock, but I feel at the same time, you guys might think, actually, even though it's shocking to me, I'm glad I actually done it, you know, because I'm coming outside my comfort zone. So you guys have a happy ending card for this. So guys, that was the Aquarius full moon for all of the signs. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. If you want any more information about me, head over to the description below where the timestamps will be. Let me know how this full moon has gone for you. And, you know, again, feel free to like, share and subscribe. And, you know, so I can put up more videos for you guys. And I will definitely be back. Also, head over to the August monthlies for all of the signs. I'll be putting up the September. I'll also be putting up the moons. And some of you guys have asked, do I do you know, like what's my channel about? I talk about the planets, but I also talk mostly about the moons, because I love talking about the moons, the full moon, new moon, the eclipses. I also do monthlies. I did do weeklies, but you know, things just got a bit hectic. That's what I more or less specialize in. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I will speak to you guys very soon. Again, if you want any more information about me, if you want to donate, if you want to ask questions, feel free, and the description's below. So thank you very much, guys, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Bye.